So if you know me, you know I like to travel. Around this time last year, I went on a 3,000-mile road trip by myself to Colorado, and it was an awesome trip. Video link right there if you want to see that. I had so much fun on that trip that I want to plan another one this year, and I decided to go a little bit further. This one's a 5,000-mile road trip by myself again, and I'm going to be adding a few more states along the way. One of my goals is to visit all 50 states, so this is going to help me accomplish that. I'm going to break this video down into a couple parts. The first part showing you kind of how I planned it and where I'm staying at as far as like Airbnbs, that sort of thing. The second part will be how I saved money on this trip, because going on a 5,000-mile road trip, expenses all on you, it can get a little pricey. So finding ways to save money on something like this is really important. So let's jump into it. The first day, I'm leaving from Knoxville, Tennessee, and I'm driving to St. Louis, Missouri. It's about a 7.5, 8-hour drive, and this is the Airbnb I selected to stay at. Looking at the price of this one, $65 a night. I mean, there's taxes and everything, but still, that's pretty good for something that looks pretty solid. It has really positive reviews. I mean, it even has this little backyard. I probably won't even use that, but still, it looks like a nice place to crash for the night. Definitely more than I need, but I do really like that they have a washer dryer. That's going to be a scarcity on this trip. The next day, I'm leaving St. Louis and I'm going to Ness City, Kansas. It's a small, middle nowhere town about 8 hours away from St. Louis, so that's going to be a lot of driving. But I'm really excited about this Airbnb. Check it out. It is an old grain bin that they have turned into a home. You can even see the walls. They're all like curved in, following the grain bin on the outside. These stairs lead up to the bedroom, which I think is really, really neat. Definitely don't want to walk down those when I'm asleep. I might break something. But I thought this one was really awesome. Has great views. I mean, there's freaking cows. There's a little skylight in the top. The way I found out about this Airbnb actually is I stayed at this host's other property in the same city, and I had a great experience, so I just thought, why don't I stay here again? And I looked at their profile and found this. They had another listing. I think they added it this year, so I decided to book this one instead. I think it looks awesome. The positive is that I've already stayed with this host before. I know they're cool, not going to pull any funny business, so that's important. The next day, I'm leaving Ness City, Kansas, and going to Colorado Springs. That's about a 5-hour drive, and this Airbnb is really unique. Just check out the floor on this. I think it's really cool. The glossy finish kind of jumps out at you. Definitely not something I would live in all the time, but definitely really cool to stay in here for a couple days. I'm going to be staying at this Airbnb 2 days, and another positive with this is I've actually stayed at this host's other listing, which is right next door in his house. This is a separate, smaller house right next door. You can see it right here. This is where I'm staying, the small building, and then his house is right here. I stayed in the private room that he had listed. Great experience. You get access to this shared backyard. There's a little hangout shack. He keeps ducks back here behind the fence. Really unique property. There's even like a tree you can climb that has netting. But same thing as before, I was just checking out my previous host's other listings, and I found this, and I thought it looked really cool. I'm staying here 2 days this time because last year I really missed out on a lot of sites. I was only there one night, so I went an extra day there just to explore the city more and go see Garden of the Gods. So leaving Colorado Springs, I'm going to be going to Cascade Campground. It's about 2 hours away, still in Colorado. Last year I stayed at the Sand Dunes, which is a really awesome experience, but I really want to see the mountains and the rich forests that Colorado has. I didn't really get to see that in the dunes. It's sand.
And it gets everywhere.
I'm only going to be here one night, so I won't get to do any of the cool hikes nearby, but I thought this campground looked really, really neat. Like, look at the views, man. 10 out of 10. I'm stoked to see this in person. The next day, unfortunately, I'm packing up and leaving Colorado, but I'll be starting the next leg of my trip in Utah. I'm driving about 7 hours away to Richfield, Utah. But this is the Airbnb I selected. I'm staying here 2 days as well. $72 a night. Not bad at all. Has wood floors, modern appliances, and check out the bed. It's like the levitating thing. I thought that was pretty neat. The reason I'm staying in Richfield, Utah is because about an hour away is Capitol Reef National Park, and in the town close by, there's like a hot springs that you can actually go in. So I'm going to check those out while I'm here. Now, this next one I'm really excited for is going to be close to Zion. It's in a town called Hurricane, Utah. So this is what I'm staying in, this little house in the desert. I thought it looked awesome, and it's right on a alpaca farm. You can see and hang out and feed the alpacas while you're there. This is like the ultimate Instagram Airbnb. Like, look how picturesque that is. It's a little tiny, but that's all I need. It has everything I'd need for the 2 days I'm spending here. Even comes with your own personal alpaca. It does not. Don't hold me to that. The main reason I'm staying here is because it's close to Zion. It's only about half an hour away, and I'm going to be hiking either the Narrows or Angel's Landing. That's depending on if I get the right permit to do Angel's Landing. There's like a lottery you have to enter, and I already failed it once. I'm going to try again. You can do the day before. So I'm going to try that. If that doesn't work, I'm going to do the Narrows. This one isn't too bad per night. It's a little bit more expensive than my other ones, but for Utah, this is nothing. Like, most Airbnbs out here are so expensive. I'm really glad I found this one. When I leave this Airbnb, I'm going to be going back up north to Joseph, Utah. Originally, I had planned to camp at Bryce Canyon, but they closed down the campground. Like, for the date I was going to be camping there, I had everything reserved, but they closed it down for that date. So I got kicked out of that. I had to find something quick. So this is what I settled on. I kind of want to do a camping experience. So this is my first time doing a glamping tent. It's really basic, but I was going to be camping this night, so it's slightly better than that. Apparently this is a part of several different glamping tents in the same piece of property, and there's like a communal, like, bath, I don't want to say bathhouse, not like the Greeks or anything, but like a shared bathroom area. So a little bit unnerving because I don't like sharing, but maybe it'll be a cool experience to meet other travelers and just detach and relax for a little bit. Moving on, I'm going to be going up to Salt Lake City after this. It's about 2.5 hour drive, not bad at all. I found this really neat Airbnb. I love the wood and the red together. I think it looks really cool. Bathroom, 10 out of 10. The reason I'm staying in Salt Lake City is because I'm going to be going to the Salt Flats, which is on the west border of Utah. I've seen, you've seen the car commercials, you've seen Casey Neistat, that's how he got his signature glasses, is on the Salt Flats. So I thought it'd be really neat to go check that out, maybe drive on them. I'm going to be in a rental car, so maybe not. I don't want to get it stuck or anything, because it's expensive to get those towed out of there. After this, though, it will be my trek back home, and I really don't have anything crazy planned for my trek back home. It's just as fast as I can get back home. So I will be driving from Salt Lake City to Gothenburg, Nebraska, which is going to be like a 10-hour drive. I am not looking forward to that. I get to see the entire state of Wyoming. I will be driving across the whole thing in a day, which will be really pretty, but really tiring. I know this Airbnb looks weird from the outside looking in, but I think it actually looks pretty homey. Look, you can even see the guy taking a picture there. It's like a farm stay. It's nothing fancy, even has a wood-burning stove, which I love. And it's hard to find a decent Airbnb in the middle of nowhere sometimes. Just, I had to find a place to stay, and this place looked safe, had great reviews, so I thought, why not? After this, I'm leaving Gothenburg, and I'm gonna go on an 8-hour drive to Roach. It's called Roach. This is a cute little cottage. Same thing with the other one. I was just looking for a place to stay, and I thought this one looked nice enough to crash for the night. The bed's throwing me off a little bit. That pattern's a little funky, but I bring my own blanket and pillow anyway, so it doesn't matter. Has a little kitchen, has a bathroom, has everything I need to crash for the night. This one's a little odd, though. The host on this one, out of all my Airbnbs I've ever stayed in, they like to meet everyone, which I don't want to interact with anyone, but they seem really nice. The reviews are great, almost 5 stars, so they can't be like serial killers, I hope. I wonder how friendly I'll be after an 8-hour drive introducing myself to these hosts, but we'll see how it goes. And then my final stop, the next day, I'm leaving Roach, and I'm going to Dover, Tennessee, and that'll be my last stop before I go home the next day. I've actually stayed in this exact tiny house before, and it's probably one of my favorite properties I've stayed in. My favorite Airbnb as far as tiny houses. I stayed in several, all really neat, but this one, I think it just has like the most core things you need. I really like it because it has a full bathroom, like an actual standing shower, and a toilet that flushes. A lot of tiny houses do like a composting toilet, and I don't want it. If I'm camping, sure, but if I'm in a house, I want to take a poop in a normal toilet. The drive to this property is amazing. I did it last year, and it's so cool. You're just driving through a forest the whole time, and then boom, you're there. Also, the loft bed is really neat. It's a little difficult to get in and out of it, but I'm nimble. I can do it. If you're a senior in age, maybe this isn't the Airbnb for you, but I like it. So that wraps up all the properties I'm staying at for the 2 weeks while I'm on this road trip. Now I'm going to talk about the pricing of all these and then how I saved money for this trip. So in total, with my car rental and my lodging for the trip, it's going to be a little over $3,100, which is pricey, yes, but it is a 2.5 week long trip, so you are going to encounter some expensive things along the way. That price doesn't include food or gas or souvenirs, because I don't know what I'm going to spend on that yet. Food is really dependent on the person, if you're getting nice things, if you're getting takeout, or if you're just getting things and cooking at home. Moving on, I'm going to tell you some ways that I've saved some money on this trip. The first thing I did to save money was using Amazon. So Amazon's your best friend, especially when you're traveling. A lot of items on there have a 30-day return policy. Whether they're broken or not, you can just return it, and Amazon gives you your money back, no questions asked. For the couple nights that I'm camping on the trip, I'm going to use an air mattress in my tent, and the air mattress I've already had, it had a hole in it, a really slow leak. Not the end of the world, but I don't want to wake up in the middle of the night laying on the ground. So what I did is I ordered the exact same mattress on Amazon, and I'll return it at the end of my trip and get my money back. When I return it, I might accidentally mix up the mattresses and put the old one in the box and keep the new one, but that's up to you and your discretion. You can do whatever you want. Either way, you can get things on Amazon that you need, that you're not going to use a lot the rest of the year. Buy it for your trip, return it when you're done. Another way you can save money on your travels is booking as far in advance as you can. So for example, the first Airbnb I'm going to on this trip, in total it came out to about $85. That's including taxes, cleaning fees, and everything. So I looked to see what this Airbnb would be for the next weekend, same days, Saturday and Sunday, and it comes out to $163 before cleaning or any sort of fees like that. So I'm literally paying half of what this goes for now. So me booking that 6-7 months in advance, this Airbnb has gotten more reviews. It's gotten a little popular since then, which naturally drives the price up over time. So get in early. I got to lock in that really, really cheap rate. Now it's going for double. And the last way I'm saving money on this trip is by getting a credit card. I just want to preface this. Do not take my advice as a financial advisor. I'm not telling you to spend your money or get credit cards in a certain way. That is up to you. So I found a credit card that if you spend $1,000 within the first month or two, you get $200 back. And I knew my rental car was going to more than take care of that. So I just got a credit card about a month ago. So by the time I'm done with this trip, I'll have an extra $200 to put on my credit card statement. There's also cashback incentives with many credit cards. The two that I'm bringing on this trip, one is a 5% if I use tap to pay, so with my watch or my phone, and then a 2% for my other credit card. So everything I'm either going to get 2 to 5% back. But you should only use credit cards like this if you're responsible and you pay it off and don't carry a balance. Don't go into crippling debt to get an extra $200 back. Like, if you don't have the money, don't spend it. So that wraps up the overview and the price breakdown of my trip. I hope you found it informative and useful. If you're going on a trip yourself, let me know if you have any questions about the trip I'm going on, or if you need advice planning yours, let me know in the comments down below. By the time you're watching this video, I'm already well underway on my trip, or probably close to being done with it. So look for videos in the future. I'm going to try to do a longer format video, like 30 to 40 minutes. So look out in the next couple weeks. That'll be going up. All right, that's it. Get out of here. If you're watching, I appreciate it, but now's your time to